Good morning, race fans. Welcome to Pimlico Racecourse. Happy Sunday. Naomi Tucker here alongside Keith Fustel. We have plenty of action coming your way again today. But Keith, we've had some rain yesterday as well as overnight. We won't be running on the turf today, but the main track is muddy right now. Have you seen any trends thus far from yesterday?
You want to be fairly close. And inside is usually the case here is pretty good. So if you can save ground as long as you can, if you've got to maneuver out around the turn. We saw that Ricky Silliman horse get off a little bit bad yesterday in that route. Took an outside, trip, got the job done. As much the best though. But speed, you got to be within range by the time you hit the quarter pole. I haven't seen anybody make that deep, sustained run yet. Unfortunately, off the turf course today. Hopefully, we get back on it Thursday. I tell you, Thursday's card, I got done with that. Short card, 8 races. I mean, I've got a lot of races with 7-2, 4-1 morning line favorites. So there's going to be some betting opportunities looking ahead here at Pimlico for Preakness Week.
Oh, super exciting. Of course, Friday and Saturday will be loaded cards as well. But let's dive in to today's action. Race number 1, as we are off the turf, this will be mile and 16 on the main track here. Optional claim starter allowance. We landed on the same top selection here, Keith. Beyond the Victory, main track only entry, so gets exactly what he wanted for trainer Jerry Robb. I really hope that he's going to show us a bit of that speed that he used to show in the third start for the Robb bar. We know that Jerry Robb does inject some pace into them.
Absolutely. Third start back, an aggressive rider. X-Men can be aggressive if he needs to be. Yeah, he needs to break. Off a little slow last time. You saw that just slightly up in the air. I think if he can kind of get out there, if he's clear by the far turn, he's probably gone against these. Haylight's been consistent. We're going to get Karamanos this afternoon. He should be able to kind of enjoy a trip somewhere 6, 7, 8 lengths out of it down the backside and then save ground and move up into it. So it looks like one of these two to get you started.
Those are my thoughts exactly. My first note was ultra consistent performer. You know he's going to run his race, and hence I think underneath he's a very valuable proposition. I also use the real runner here, Krug. Speed, like you highlighted, seemed to hold up pretty well yesterday. Looks like the Dale Capuano trainee can get himself a good position there. Perhaps just one path off the rail wherever you want to be. Yeah,
it's a little bit more seasoned animals here. I think he's up. I don't say he's up. He is up against it a little bit. He's going to have to bring a top effort. Irish Riviera, he's a really tough horse to figure. When he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's like the little girl with the curl, right? He's that's the way it goes. When he's good, he's good. So tough to leave out of the exactas, but man, his last couple leave a little bit to be desired. So I'm going to key around the 5. Go to the front. And see you later.
Yeah, same here. Race number 2 is a maiden claiming event, $10,000 to $8,000. Fillies Mess 3, 4, and 5-year-old, 6 furlongs of sprinting distance. Started that early pick for Keith. We're going to continue the momentum here at Pimlico, right?
With a nice score. Yeah, let's go. $18 ticket for this Sunday. Close out the week. 2 deep to get you started. 3 and the 4. Sum is 9. Tough 1 there for Damon. Race 3, the 2, 5, and 6. Race number 4, 3 deep again, 4, 5, and 6. We've got a stat there for Uncle Jerome and Claudio in the 4th. Race 5, rounded out with the 5 and the 13. Reported gelding here for the 13, Wonderwater. There's Ricky Silliman, ex-third baseman, back from Marty McGee's softball team back in the day. Always did a nice job there on the softball field, Ricky. Very dependable defense.
Did not know that.
Oh, yeah. We're going way back before you were born. Yeah.
Oh,
it was a lot of fun.
You're coming in hot here with the stories, Keith. I like it. Race number 2. Let's talk about some in the field, though. Maiden claiming $10,000 to $8,000. Like I said, sprinting distance 6 furlongs. We both have our eyes on the number 4, Tough 1 for trainer Damon Delodo Vico. Has not been seen in a year and 3 months. So now she's a 4-year-old. Let's look at that debut race there. She was professional debut from the gate. She sat behind a long shot leader, as you can see in Mosler's Touch. That was a strong pace for level. That was maiden 40. She was protected that day. Loved kind of the professionality you see here. She's right on that pace. Her snow was still on the ground, even that's how long ago it was. And she fought for it belatedly. Ended up being 3rd that day. I think by the looks of it here on paper, she can be the controlling speed, and she's older as well. So I think the combination of easier foes, lengthy break, a bond that doesn't get horses going unless they think they're right, is going to do it.
And the drop doesn't really terribly concern me off of this time. Super C Racing, they want to win races, right? They can be aggressive. And there's two horses out of that race, Vanquisher, Mosler, such. They're now 3-time winners. I think just take the aggressive route here, force the pace. May not get the lead, but I think is going to be right there a long way.
Yeah, agreed. Both of us used the number 3. Sum is 9 in our exacta as well. She was trying to chase a fast front runner the entire way. Couldn't get past, but held well on for second in her last race. I wonder if she gets the lead here. But tough one on the outside. You said perhaps you see her just taking that stalking position. How do you see this flow set up in this spot?
I mean, Tipsy Tour Sum is 9. I think they're got to be aggressive, and they're going to establish speed inside trip, maybe try to hang the 4 out. But I just think the 4 on the class dropping down can even take game if needed. Yep.
Yeah, agreed. How about Color of a Cloud? She's making her 31st start. You got to give credit to this 5-year-old mare that runs her race every time.
Yeah, and encountered some trouble the last couple races. Just doesn't have that early foot, and sometimes forces some trouble upon her. Can't really kind of get in gear early enough. We're going to see with those 2 immediate speeds to the outside. She can, if she can avoid trouble the first 1/8 of a mile, I think then she'll relax and be able to get that trip that she wants to bring some finish.
Yeah, she does always come with a little bit of fun. As long as there's a clean trip. I just don't see her get into the winner's circle here. I don't believe that's really what she wants to do, but she gets it on that 31st start. I'm going to be incredibly pleased for her and her connections for certain. Race number 3 is an option claim and starter allowance. We start the Rainbow Pick 6. We got a carryover to get you started here with that sequence as well. I think there's approximately $5,000 in the pool or carrying over at present. There you go, $5,090. 5 furlongs on the dirt here, the distance. And Keith, will start with our joint top pick in here, which is the number 6, Algebraic. Main track only entry for the McMahon Bond. Turn back to 5 furlongs is going to suit him tremendously. I think he's a front runner combined with a strong wet track record.
You can't miss the break like he did 2 races back. He's got a fresh horse in Battle Bus who's shown a good bit of speed in the past. But I think if he does break, he'll be aggressively ridden to the front. Should be able to control things. Is handled and off track. You see that 2 wins from 3 starts with a second. Is quick and can fight when confronted around the turn. Just Wave and Smile. A little stat here for Dale Cap. Last 3 years, 9 for 28. 32% dirt sprints off a 61 to 180-day layoff. That's a good one, 336 ROI. Really finished up 21 in a good note on the turf. But this guy, he's won over this course, right? Pimlico, sloppy sealed track, has run well. I think this horse is okay.
That was against the optional claim and starts allowance. There was a little bit of a higher price tag on them that day as well. And that was also after a layoff too. So it seems like everything lines up well for Just Wave and Smile for trainer Dale Capuano. So kind of keying around those horses. Both used the number 5 Big Tall Dog underneath for trainer Kieran McGee. Won on his last start, also an off-the-turf event, so gets similar conditions as well here today. Does possess that strong ability to sit behind runners, allowing some speedsters to just kind of make those early moves before Big Tall Dog moves in and try and get his nose in front. Quite dangerous there, late.
He is. I like that effort last time visually, his best. A sharper move, held really firm through the final 1/8 of a mile. Good form here for Kieran now on the home track. Gets that advantage as well.
Yeah, race number 4 is a maiden claiming $25,000 to $20,000 event, 1.8 miles, the distance here on the main track. I had a little bit of a price play in here. I landed on Coastal Chaos. I see you have him in your exacta, 5-1 morning line. I hope that we're going to get that, but obviously we do have a scratch in here in the shape of Spritz, who was going to take a little bit of money as well. But Coastal Chaos, near career best, going a 1.8 at this level in March earlier this year. Only issue possibly with him is that he does leave himself with a fair bit of ground to make up, and we just kind of highlighted that you want to be within reach on this track. So that is my only worry, really.
He's been close. He did it at Laurel a few races back. Track 49-2, 14-2. I don't know if they're going to be going much faster than that. And maybe Charlestown just kind of got him off his game a little bit. I think he can stay within range of a horse like from the 5 and maybe even the 6, Uncle Jerome. I think Uncle Jerome's the horse to beat, though. A little stat here for Claudio. Last 3 years, there we go, on the dirt, 6 for 10. How about that, Naomi? 60% first off the claim, maiden claimers.
Do we even try and go against
Going
him?
long on the main track, 286 is your ROI. Disappointed last time at 4-5. Was kind of out there walking the dog. Wasn't really a demanding flow. Couldn't get it done. We'll see if Claudio can move him up the jump, the positive jump up here, a little protect move for Uncle Jerome Barbosa. I think if he breaks cleanly, a mile and 8, I think he can stay this distance on or just off the lead.
Yeah, I think a dangerous jockey coming on along as well here.
Right.
And look, I'm going to try and get my price play home, but that stat is a little bit worrisome for my runner in here. But you already mentioned for Vroom, he might just be one of the speedsters early. Could get to the front here again. I do think the mile and 8 distance might make him slightly vulnerable.
Yeah, you see that. Looked like he was gone. Got nipped a little, maybe confident last time at the ride late, or maybe he holds on to beat Virginia full. But you're right. Maybe that extra 16th is just a tad too much.
Yeah, I use him underneath just in case he gets loose early. We'll take a small break, but do stay with us. We are counting down the days now. It's not weeks anymore. Days until Preakness 147 comes along here. The middle duel, the highlight for us here in the Mid-Atlantic Circuit. Draws tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a second. Race number 5 we're on right now for our handicapping morning show. Maiden claiming $25,000 to $20,000. Late Big 4 starts here as well. And this is how I play. I go 3 deep in here. 5, 13, and 15. We are off the turf, mile and 8 on the dirt. We have a couple of horses that have drawn in because of scratches in the body. So make sure you know exactly who is running in each leg of your ticket. Race 6, I spread as well. 1, 2, 4, and 7. I know that we have a favorite in the number 4, Ragtime Blues, but I think it's much more open than that priced morning line might suggest. Race number 7, I go 2 deep here. It isn't a typo. Both 3-5 in the last is not a typo. Fly Me Home. I'm keying around the Michael Sidham trainee, as well as the number 5, away to return a main track only. And then in the finale race number 8, I also go with the number 3 and the number 5, Money in the Banksy for Christine Claggett, as well as the number 5, Boone Dog, who's got plenty of speed to make himself known around that mile and 16. $24 a ticket. It starts in race 5, 4 legs to go. Let's hope that we can snatch a prize between those first 2 legs. Like I said, mile and 8 main track event here in race number 5, Maiden Claimers. Let's start with your top pick here, Keith. One of the horses that has drawn in because of some of the scratches in the main body of the race. Ricky Cinnamon trains. Now the Cinnamon Bond has been on quite the roll.
Yeah.
Won yesterday with one runner, a double before that. This runner is coming in as a fresh gelding. Has had a little bit of time to get over that as well. Of course, the question mark is, can he turn things around? He was on the turf last time out. Just did not get a great run. Covered a lot of real estate. Tired belatedly, but of course, completely different case here on the main track and with a bit more of a smaller field too.
I don't think the moisture's going to bother him. He's just going to have to show a little bit more oomph. Kind of an even running type down at Tampa. Beaten favorite, 2 races back. Let's hope. Let's hope the first time gelding gets this guy focused. He's got probably going to have to get that chasing kind of trip and see if Centano can carry him the last 3/8 of a mile, because Stimulus Maker is going to go. Now, he comes out of a race with a number I think might be slightly inflated. 3rd time off the bench, now stretching out. Looks like the controlling speed. The knock, maybe, make the way clear, did not come out of that race and run well. He was very disappointed, but I think we can trust for this guy to get out there on the lead and go a long way. Let's see if Wonderwater can pick him up late.
Yeah, I hope Stimulus Maker can hold on. Hugh McMahon's a bond that certainly does well, getting the horses to go a bit more distance. So I'm backing on that being the case. This horse running for this bond in his 3rd start with them. Let's talk about one of the other horses that drew in on Orthodox, the number 15 for trainer Kelly Ruby. Do you feel like he finds a little bit of a better group here than what he's been trying against at the fairgrounds? We know the meet comes up quite competitive. Does tend to run his race. I don't expect to see him early as part of like any contention in terms of the pace, but I think with the outside draw and with his sort of late runs that he comes up with, he can start rolling.
may have caught the field, that he can just make his progression. It's not going to be a fast one, and just kind of grind things out. He's a horse I know they had some high hopes for early. It just really hasn't panned out. A reclaim, though, still like this guy. Maybe he makes the run to get it. But I think the 6 is a little bit of a price user here. Get off my cloud, 12 to 1 in the morning. I think you'll get a double digits on this guy. Just caught our eye. Pinch back at the break. Go back and watch the video. It was very live past the wire. Kept on quite well. Should be able to handle an off track. There's your price user and the exactus and trifectas here in the 5th.
I love that with a 12 to 1 morning line as well. Yeah, my little bit of a price comes in the shape of the number 2 Lightning Lad, 12 to 1 morning line as well for training Milan Milosevic. He's an unexposed 3-year-old. He's never shown that much early pace. I think the mile and 8 is a good distance for him to try and make a move in. And look, the weight coming off with John Aviles over this distance on this type of track, I think can really turn the tables a little bit.
Yeah, and he knows this track. He trains over this racetrack. Could be a little bit of advantage for him.
Absolutely. Race number 6. As we move on to optional claim of start allowed. 6 furlongs the distance. Do a video spotlight on the horse that's going to be favored early. Ragtime Blues, the number 4 for trainer Jeffrey Engelhardt. 17 days ago, he ran at Laurel Park, and he was able to get the lead, even though he isn't, quote unquote, in my books, a speed horse. I thought there were softer fractions there early. Nobody really went to go with him on the rail, and he's just gliding forward and held sway.
That's why I think he might be a touch vulnerable in here. Naomi, perfect. It's exactly what I have on my notes. Comfortable flow in last. Things are going to be a little bit more frantic up front today. I don't think it's going to be as easy. He's a horse, though, that has back figs to go on. So if they've kind of got him right, certainly then he's going to be able to prompt the issue and be very, very tough. You're going to have to take a very short price on him. He could end up 4 to 5 even money when it's all said and done. Scratch the 3 Shawnee P. But I think asking for a Baskin, I'll give him one more shot. Second off the claim was against the grain of the racetrack. I need Thais Lapustina to be very, very aggressive early. Send this horse in a position. Might be able to carry the speed over this off track. It's a little bit of a reach, but I got to go for a little bit of price. Exactly what you said. I got away with it easy.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. At that really, really short price, I'm not that confident in him. I think he's good enough to get the job done here. Clearly on the figures as well. Clearly he's done better than some of the others in here. But yeah, like I said, he just got that easy setup last time out, Ragtime Blues. I did have a look at May the Horse Be With You. Notable that you didn't use him for trainer Anthony Pecoraro. He was a Miracle Wood Stakes victor, but he's not been back to that kind of level that he showed in 2021. First fight a claim for the Pecoraro barn. Let's see if that changes his fortunes around.
Again, it sends from the inside. His best looks to be up close to the lead, if not on it. See now, the same thing, the horse to his outside. So maybe Ragtime Blues just drops in and falls into a great trip. He was able to rally in, catch a horse like Montauk Daddy, a speed horse, a couple of races ago. And the 5, I'll come back to Daily Music Died. He has the running style that fits this particular field. And, yeah, that's it. No more talk. He'll run better than what he did last. I do know that.
I do like some of the price uses that you threw in there, especially Daily Music Died. I think he does slip under the radar ever so slightly in a field that, like we highlighted, is actually much more wide open than perhaps that heavy price on the favorite might suggest here. So, yeah, interesting race coming up there. Race number 7 is the first level allowance here. Fillies and Mess, 3-year-old and up, and 5 furlongs on the main track here, so make sure that you make a note of that. I landed on the horse that we do have video spotlight for, lightly raced Fly Me Home for trainer Michael Stidham. Look back at her winning race last time. That was her second career start, and she started slightly sideways, didn't she?
A little sideways, but you see how quick this filly is. I mean, just recovered and said, see you later. I'm going to go open up with a little bit of nudging, go clear 2, 3.5 early, and really holds on, you know, through the final 1/8 of a mile, just solidly hand-ridden. You see this through the last 1/8 of a mile. Okay, needs to break straighter and truer right now. I mean, I think she goes. I think the 5, a way to return for Damon, is going to be ready to rock and roll here this afternoon. Best number on and off track. The blinkers go on. We saw this move with going to the lead. His numbers have gotten better. He got a little better, a little more focused, and he brought a little bit more finish. I think you're going to see that stalk and pounce trip from the 5 horse this afternoon.
Yeah, I rate her very highly. I have her in my exacta, but to just give some more background on Fly Me Home, she was flicking her ear. She was so comfortable, has so much natural speed. I think this 5 furlong distance is perfect for her. So just on raw talent and ability, I think she's the better horse. So curious to see if a way to return will be able to land the blow.
I'll bet you $1.
Okay,
Horse for horse.
you're on.
There
Horse
you
for
go.
horse.
Okay.
All right, we're on. I'll quickly mention number 9, our Avery Lynn. Used her because of her pace angle as well. Level-wise, this is a step up. She's a little bit of a nervous filly as well, but she has that outside advantage. And this field isn't coming up as strong as some of the other allowance level on the main track would have been because of the fact that we have a couple of scratches in here as well.
That's true. Okay. All right. On to the 8th.
Race number 8, our finale here. Beaten Nickel Claimers. They're mile 16 the distance. Another video spotlight we have. Both you and I think Money in the Banksy will most likely get his picture taken today for trainer Christine Claggett. 177-day break, but we look back at the last time he came back of a lengthier break, 247 days. Bumped around a little bit upon beginning, but still managed to move forwards and get that lead on a track with moisture on the day.
And took heat a long way and really held well. 23-1 that afternoon. Will not be that price today. And I don't think he necessarily needs to lead. Now, he is 8. You've got an 8-year-old making it his 11th start. So maybe we're reaching a little bit, but I love the heart that this guy has shown. Even that race over at Timonium was a good one. So, hey, I'm rooting for the smaller outfits here, right, Christine Claggett? Thais, Laia, Postina. Let's see if they can get the nightcap.
Absolutely. Well, I have Boondoggle underneath as well for trainer really key. Wouldn't mind have him a winner here at Pimlico. JD Acosta takes the mount, which I like because this horse needs someone to kind of be aggressive on. Also an 8-year-old. Returns to the main track. Tried the turf last time, kind of burned up in front. Is a little bit his running style anyway, though. But I like JD to be on and try and keep him engaged. Try and keep him going towards that final section of the Mountain 16 here.
Look at my comment. Willing to the 8th pole. Yeah, he was beaten 10, but he was trying 2 races back against a much better field. That's why you've got to watch the races. Everybody will immediately think, well, the horse gave way. No, willing. He was giving effort all the way past mid-stretch. Maybe it's a lineup race in the last. That's kind of the way it looks like you see it.
Well, you have Cam Pendleton in your race actor, though. He cleared the nominous a 2-life condition 2 starts back quite impressively. Kind of dropped the ball perhaps a little in the first start.
Yeah, it looks just a little flat, caught wide, but proven to be able to handle the distance. Again, should get a perfect inside trip and matriculate up to the leaders.
Yeah, 8 races coming up later this afternoon at Pimlico Racecourse, but let's get going with lightning round.
Okay.
We've been looking forward to next week. But a little bit later, we have a fun event returning as well. Chasing for Children. The pony races will be back on Saturday, May the 28th, 11 a.m. first post. I just remember watching it here. Lots of local horsemen and women with their children running with the ponies. It's quite a spectacle to behold.
It was. And these riders, they're good. Let me tell you, you got some future stars in the bunch. Come on out and definitely support the guys. Chasing for Children. There, the pony races on Saturday the 28th. I remember, we were here last year.
Yeah,
sitting right
we
here.
were.
We were watching and some really good finishes. Yeah.
I got my start in pony racing back in the Netherlands. That's how I fell in love with horse racing and the racing industry in general. So wholeheartedly encourage everyone to participate or just come and watch this fun event. Let's talk a little bit more about the Preakness field taking shape. We do have Armagnac being pointed towards that middle jewel of the Triple Crown. Their impressive allowance score the day after the Kentucky Derby. But this is at Santa Anita Park. And you can see there got the lead. Ears pricked the entire way. Did slow them down quite nicely on the back session before re-braking and just running along. No, of course, graded stakes types in that race. But look, he did have a Munnings horse there, California Cup Derby winner before. Lined up in here, bested him by multiple lengths. Seems like quite a talented runner that will have to prove it on the big day.
And I think, maybe take the shot. He's got the speed. Is he as fast as a horse like Epicenter or early voting or Epicenter? We'll see. The blinkers came off last time, an improved effort. He was a long shot a couple races back. I went behind Forbidden Kingdom, I think. So we'll see. He adds a little bit of that speed, that flavor up front. Will he be kind of a thorn in the side to a couple of those horses. We shall see. I think, lining kind of a price, he's going to be double digits. But yeah, an interesting new shooter to add some flow to this race.
Yeah, it could have quite a role to play. Of course, I had to Google exactly what kind of drink Armagnac is. It's a distinct kind of brandy produced in the southwest of France, the Armagnac region. So I thought there was a little bit of an interesting fun fact on his name here as we look ahead to the party coming up on Friday and Saturday. Of course, the Infield Fest, Maryland's biggest party. Get your tickets at infieldsfest.com. Of course, we're also gearing up for that draw tomorrow. We'll be starting at 4:30 p.m. Black Eyed Susan and Preakness Field will both be drawn. So we know what we're dealing with. We can start trying to dissect how the flow might set up and who might going to be where and who might have the best chance of getting that illustrious Woodland Vase.
You got it. Black Eyed Susan card drawn today, right? Entries coming in today for that. We'll get on that race a little bit later in the afternoon. That's a good competitive field, deep field. I think Candy Light just popped in there for that's Grand Motion, right? Ran behind Luna Bell.
So we'll be well represented here. The local trainers. It's lining up to be a deep field of talented fillies. That's for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. This is where the rubber meets the road for the old line maker, though. Got to get our troops together, get them in a line, and get through these cards. But looking forward to it.
Same here, same here. That will conclude the morning show for us. We're going to send it out to Dave Rutman, of course, the voice that you will hear throughout the week here, as he's been on this circuit for a very, very lengthy amount of time. And I can't wait to hear him call the Preakness again, because like I said before, I think a while ago, 2020, that Preakness Stakes Swiss Skydiver Authentic, his call was scintillating. I couldn't give him more credit for that. Incredible.
I'd say year in and year out, he's the best. I've been around him a long time. Doesn't draw any attention to him. He just goes out and does it every day. Every day. He doesn't take a break. He doesn't send it in. He's the best, and we are very, very lucky to have him.
Agreed. So if you do have the chance, go on YouTube and watch it back. I think he sets the scene by saying it's a battle in Baltimore. Absolutely terrific. So good luck, everyone. We got 8 races coming up later this afternoon. I'll be back as well with Callie Francois, but Dave Rotman will be up next.
You got it. Good luck, everybody.